I think that's a whitey truck way down the street. I think I saw multiple whiteys way down the street at the light. And I think this white truck just hit his turn signal and that white SUV just drove by me. He's turning as there's this engine sound behind me. I hear a bird right now. These birds are flying by me right at the train tracks and they're going. And this car was turning way down the street at the train tracks. I think he was doing a sync. He's probably gonna drive by me sync. And he turned really far away. And he's turning right now. He started, he hit his turn signal synced, I think. Now he's turning. And that white truck is turning right now at the light, and I heard an engine sound over there at the same time. I was like, "Rawr." And this truck beeping it's probably a tail lift beeping. It's probably synced. Probably started synced. It's probably gonna stop synced. It just stopped right when I said it's probably gonna stop synced. And it was like right as these black and silver cars were coming up. And then it just started again. And then it just stopped again. The sinks. They're gonna sink. All the way up every sink street. That's a sink truck turning synced. Looks synced. This white truck's probably gonna sink at the intersection. I feel like he's coming to sink at the intersection. He's gonna be synced right at it. And he's gonna sink. And I'm walking at a steady pace. And I'm not changing the pace of my walking at all. I'm just walking up the street, and then he sinks. And I'm like, I knew it. He was gonna sink, and so was that one. I knew it. He's gonna be right there, and this one's gonna be right here, and they're synced. I knew it. Sink. I don't know. I don't know when his lights started flashing, or if they've been flashing, but we'll see if he sinks. This looks like it's a little late. Probably synced. I think that's synced. What's synced? Is this synced? It's tan. Looks synced. It's like a tan sync. Sync. Sync off. Sync sounds. Do you hear the sync sounds? I hear the syncs. I heard a sound over here right as the door opened. What is that sound that you just heard? It's like sync. Somebody just walked out, walked out of the door as I walked around the aisles. Sync. I think I heard the train horn outside. And I think this guy just walked up, seemed to having the door closed behind me. So, unpopular opinion that these movies suck. These remakes, they suck. This one is way better. This one is infinitely better. And these suck. Garbage. There's too much CG. Like, why do you gotta use so much CG all the time? Why do they gotta use CG? Like, it looks bad. Like, it's not good CG. Like, why? Everybody's got itchy nose right in front of me all the time. Sweatshirts. It's all the time, you know? People just have itchy nose in front of me, and then they have a red shirt too sometimes. It's crazy. It just happens. The door's opening, right? I started to walk. They got a red shirt. Is that guy? Is he the door walker? What movie should I get? This movie is also trash. I've never seen the whole thing, but trash. I mean, it has its moments that are kind of interesting, but why did they make it? I think they're making another one now. Like, the third one wrapped up the whole story. Like, why do you need to make another one? Same thing with Toy Story. Like, Toy Story 4. It's just, there's no reason for Toy Story 4, and it's also trash. It's not a very good movie. burger should I get? Someone just walked by me and I heard a sound over there at the same time. It was like a sound like that. And people just walk by me really fast. Or they'll just run by me sometimes. Like sometimes it'll be a child with a red shirt and they'll just run by me really fast. And I'm like, I don't have time to catch it on camera. This is which Sharknado is the best one? Five Harknado. Is that the best one? That's the best title. Don't seek. I think I just heard a sync sound. It was like. It's like right when I put it back on the shelf, it was like. Yeah, I haven't watched the entire Matrix 4. I haven't seen the entire movie yet. I tried to watch it twice, but I couldn't get all the way through it. I was like, this movie sucks. So I don't know how it ends, but maybe it has a good ending. I don't know. I feel like they were just trolling. They're just trolling with that movie though. Like it's just like a troll movie. It's like they just made it because like the studio wanted to make it, and then they didn't want to make it. And they're just like trolling with it. The first 3 Matrix movies are really good. So I just heard a car honk, and like this was driving by me at the same time. I don't see any syncs happening right now that I can tell. I hear engine sounds that might be sync heads, but I don't know. It's always a possibility. The train horn is probably synced right now. I was right before I left my apartment. I flushed my toilet, and then it's like refilling with water. It's like going, and then right when I turn my light switch off and walk out of the bathroom, it's like it turns off. And then, like right as I was setting up the live stream, there's a car parking right next to me, and like every time when I'm setting up the live stream, they do something right when I'm setting up the live stream. Usually, most of the time, like right when I like either start setting up the live stream, like typing the title or whatever, or right when I press the go live button, either one or both. I just saw two blue cars driving by, one right behind the other, and then a red truck. But yeah, either one or both, there'll be like a car parking right next to me, or something happening right next to me, or a car alarm going off, or a siren starting, or whatever. Or a piglet, or whatever. Is that kid talking at the same time that person walked in front of me, I think? I think that's what happened. Someone's walking in the door right when I walk into here. That's always happening. I hear paper. I hear like sounds of papers or something. Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. Sink. Don't sink. It's walking away right when I walk out the door. I think she's just Cough synced again. She's coughing synced multiple times. I think she's coughing synced. Don't sync. Don't sync. Don't sync. Don't sync. Was the telelift synced? I missed the sync. He hit his turn signal right at the curb. This one's got one light. It's got one light. See. I think that car just turned synced when the other car drove by me synced. This green car is synced. These are synced. He's got a red shirt in this car. This looks synced. It's red right after the other red car. Looks synced. Looks synced. This says 33. Where's it driving by at? Is it synced? I was almost. Or was it this curb maybe? Or what? I wasn't at the place where they sync yet. Maybe it was the curb. It was a 33 though. That has a green, or that's that green car that I've seen sync before. He's probably driving by sync and he's hitting the brakes right now. And I hear an engine sound behind me right there. And these birds, I think, were flying in front of me right there. And they're flying back. And the tail lift was turning over there. Was he doing a sync? He's beeping. The tail lift is beeping. The birds are flying back in front of me, and the tail lift stops beeping as the birds are right in front of me. And then he yelled something, I think. And the tail lift. In the tail lift. I saw a red car right before that blue truck, and then when he drove by me, he was like, "Ugh." This has 29. It has 29 right there. Don't meet a black car at the intersection. That would be synced. This car is turning out as it pulls up to the intersection, and I hear an engine sound behind me. That is this car, I think. Is it this car? Oh. And then that car is turning as it drives by me. The one that was turning synced before, and this is turning out as he gets to the intersection, the white van, and then it's turning. And he's just a really loud tan stalker. And he's driving up the street with his loud engine, and he's gonna do it synced all the way up the street. And sync, sync, and sync, sync, sync. And sync, and sync, sync, and sync, and sync. Oh. There's a red car sitting there, and it just took off. Sync. Sync. This is a Norfolk red truck. I've never seen one of those before, and it's meeting the red cars at the intersection. I've never seen a red one before. I always see the white ones though, and they're always synced. They're always synced every single time. This has a 44. Is it tan? Is it a tan 44? The car behind it has a 64. I think I saw silver Sockers, and then here comes this. that. And there's a white in front of me when the white van drives by me. And that's 644. There's the window world. Like, were they both for the corner of the building, maybe? Or like one on each side of it or something? Like one was right before it, one was right after it. They just have to stuff as many sinks. Like both of those were definitely for the alley. One was like in the middle of it, one's at the edge of it. They just have to cram as many sinks as they can into the sinkhole. And fuck it with the sinks. Fuck your mind hole with the sinks. It's like sink gang rape. They should be called the gang rapers, sinks. The gang sink rapers. It's like mind rape. Get in the car right now. Walking up with one hand in the pocket. Is it a sink? That car just pulled up right when I walk in front of it. This white van is also doing that. This white car. She looked kind of synced, but I think she was. And then I heard a car honk when I got across the street, and I saw the green Volkswagen van right now. And I see sinks. I see sink people. Oh. I see sink people. I heard like plates in there right when the door opened. I don't know if that was synced, but it probably was. This car is parking right now. These birds that I don't think I caught them, but they're flying out in front of me right there. The door is opening, synced. The door is synced. I think this just started driving synced. I don't know. Too many sinks. Is that synced? Beep. The beep, man. The beep gotta sync every time I come in here. The beep. Last time I was in here, it did it right at this corner of the wall, and it did it right at that corner of the wall. And they always sync at both of those places. It did it at the one corner of the wall, and then it did it when I walked back the other way at the other corner of the wall. Beep. I don't know if that one was synced. What was the sync? Beep. Right at the corner of the wall. Beep, beep, beep. Right there at the corner of the wall. Beep. Doesn't it beep sync every time that I come in here? Every time? Like if you look at the videos from the last few days, isn't it every time? And then there's a couple of times where it beeps where I'm not, where it's like unsure, but it's probably synced though. It's probably like synced. Like, what was that one? Was that synced? I don't know. But all the other ones sound synced. I think it was right when she walked behind me, and then she just like turned the corner right when I walk up to here. And she's got a black and white plaid shirt on. Hey.
Everything.
Yep. Beep.
$2.27. Thank you. You have a blessed day today.
Looks like a whitey or silver. I think I saw 2 silver cars though. I think the bird is flying up synced across the street when I walk out. Is this guy synced? I don't know. Was he synced? I'll never know if he was synced. I hear a car honk. This car is pulling up right now. And this truck is turning right now. And they're black and silver. And time to sync. I heard some sound right when I walked up. I don't know what it was. It was like don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. I think they're sinking. I think it's the sink. I think it's the sink. I'm hearing sounds. The alley. King, king, ling, ling, ling. I'm hearing sounds again over there now. What's next? Is the church bell gonna sink? What's gonna happen now? There's a dog in that car, and I think those are always synced, and it was driving by at the same time. Honk. Sync. What's around the corner? Oh! Is it this? Is it gonna sink again? I hear the train horn and I hear a sound over here at the same time. Or over there or something. Oh, there's people walking by. And I hear kids yelling, sing to think. I think that guy's probably singing to the edge of the alley. I hear the train horn. The train horn. This is gonna be synced again. It's gonna drive right now. It's gonna drive right now. Here comes the train horn. It's gonna be right now. Nope. Turning right now. Honk. Honk if you're a horny stockhead. He's pulling up at the same time as this white car. And also this truck is driving out of the parking lot behind him at the same time. And I hear the train horn as the white van drives in front of me. And I hear these kids screaming at the school over there, and they might be synced. At least a few of them are probably synced. It's the street sweeper truck. And he was the honker. Is he gonna drive by sync? Like I just heard this kid scream right here over at the school, and then again when this car drives by me at the corner, I hear kids screaming synced, I think. I hear the train horn again. And I'm gonna hear a dog bark soon or something. Or a lawnmower. Or a stock tard going doo-doo! Is it a sink? I hear these kids screaming right now. I see red. I see red. I see two red cars over there, I think. And the train horn. And train horn. Right now. I hear truck beeping. That's a blue truck. I think it was a red blue thing. I don't know. I think it was a red car at the street, a blue car at the other side of the street thing, but I don't know. That's what it seems like. And I hear these kids screaming again, and I hear these engine sounds. And like there's a lot of kids screaming because they're just outside of recess, but like a lot of them sound synced though. That always synced every single time I see one. I think that Whitey drove out synced with it. There's a guy walking in front of me way up the sidewalk, and a kid screamed at the same time. Woo! It's like, fucking weird shit. Is this a sink? I see a tan car. I hear a kid screaming right now. I saw the white Johnson plumbing van. I see someone walking out the center of the street. I see someone walking up when I get across the street. I see the white car when I get across the street. I see a white car turning when I get across the street. She's walking around the back of the car next to me. She's walking off the sidewalk next to me. She's walking by me at the corner of the building now, the one that met me at the intersection. That wasn't really synced that time, but it was almost at the corner of the building. They're always synced though. I hear a truck honking right there. Behind me somewhere. I hear the train horn as I walk by these three people standing in a triangle. I hear the train horn again. I hear the train horn as these people walk out in front of me. They're just like, huh. Oh yeah, she's always synced. Every time I see her, she's gonna sync. Oh. Time to sync. Time to walk by me synced again. Just like every time. Just like every other time that I've ever seen that person in my life, I've probably, at least for a few years. Is it my whole life? I don't know. Nobody can tell me anything. They just walk out synced and then they're like, I didn't do it. They just do multiple sync things and then they're like, I'm not synced. How are you gonna do multiple sync things every time I see you, but you're not synced? Like I just guy synced the other day. That guy that just synced next to me, he's always synced. It's the Allo truck guy. The Allo trucks are always synced. I hear a car start right now behind me. There's this person who walks up to the intersection. This whitey drives out. And then they're probably gonna get across the street. They're getting across the street right now, I think. And it's right as that red car drove out. Yeah. I think that semi just turned synced way over there at the light. And I think this synced right now at the door. And I think this pulled up in front of me at the same time. And I think it's the syncs. And I think this blue car is synced. And it's a sync. And this has a military license plate. And it's a sync. Time to sync. This car is pulled up. I don't know, walk in front of it. Center of the street, semi sync. I think he walked up at the center of the street. Time to sync. There's a semi. Sync. Time to sync again. It's always time to sync. Isn't it always time to sync? Oh. She's getting in the car right next to me. Sync. She closed the door right next to me. It's a black truck as I walk by the silver car. Was that a sync? It's usually sync. The car is starting right now. There's 2 red cars back there. They're probably synced. This white man's pulling up right now. It's tan truck. The silver cars right now. The one that was synced. The car door on the semi. The sinks. The silver truck just pulled up right when the silver soccer car turned. It's one of those. Oh, and I saw a silver taxi yesterday, and it did a black and silver sync. Like anything that has black and silver cars, they do black and silver syncs, and if they have red and blue cars, they do red and blue syncs. I see a bus. Like those have the red cars. I heard on the semi right when I walked up. But yeah, like the red garbage trucks do the red and blue sinks, etc. And then like the silver taxi cabs do the black and silver sinks, and I think like the black like state trooper cars do the black and silver sinks, and etc. I'm pretty sure I saw like a cop car the other day. It was like a state trooper doing a black and silver sync. They do too much sync. They're OD'd on sync, and they need Syncaholics Anonymous. I saw a white truck over there, right? This tan truck with the dog in it pulled up. Dog! Sync. They need Sinker Head Holic Anonymous. They're a bunch of sinker heads. Here they come to sink again. They're gonna sink right now. Was it a sink? I don't know. I think I heard a car behind me at the same time, but I don't know. Oh, here's this guy coughing. I just saw his car turn. And I think it's the semi guy that's coughing. I don't know. Maybe he just got allergies. Here comes someone with a red shirt. Oh. He's both silver. And this just pulled up, and it's black. And this bird's flying over my head as a silver car drives by me. And sink. Sync it up. Sync it up, synced. Right when this car turns, I hear this bird over here. It's probably the same bird that flew over my head. I just hear his wings flapping. And I think this UPS is getting to the intersection as it drives by me. And then these, and he turned synced a minute ago, remember? Oh. I hear a car honk. Was it synced? Don't sync. This car is turning right as this car pulls up. Is it synced? She's always synced in the yellow car. So, yup. The UPS is just sitting at the intersection, I think, or maybe he got out of the truck and is dropping something off. I don't know. It's got his hazard lights on, so he's probably dropping something off. And then he's gonna get back in it synced, and then he's gonna sync. And then he's gonna drive by synced. Or he's gonna drop off a bunch of packages synced and then drive by synced. Here comes the red shirt, don't sync. I saw another whitey behind that whitey. And then there's this white car. Is it a whitey? This one has one light. This, I think, is synced with this. And that is synced with it. And it was a silver car, and then it was a black car, and the UPS is turning. Go! Did he get back in it synced? I didn't see when he got back in it. Was it synced? Did they walk up synced? I missed it. Did they sync or did they not sync? And then the red shirt girl, she like turned in the parking lot over there, and was it synced? Probably. I missed it. This white car is turning around the parking lot. I saw the sync head truck. Did you see it? He was synced again. I hear a bang sound. Is it synced? I think it's synced with these whiteys. I think I heard a sound over there when Whitey drove by me. I don't know. That looks synced. Looks synced out here. Or as I take a drink, I hear these engine sounds. Is it silver sync? Is it black sync? Is it sync with the Imperial truck? Is it sync? Woo! That's a scary sync car. Did you see the white and the tail lift sync? There's this bird flying behind me as these cars look synced, and he has a military license plate, and it says sync. And this bird is flying like behind me at the same time. I think I saw this tan truck earlier. Is he synced again? Is it a different sync truck? Is he a sync? Don't sync. Don't sync. I think he started driving at the same time as this driving. And he's got a dog in the car. Yeah, I think that's the same tan sync truck that I saw earlier in the video, and he had a dog in the car. Wasn't there a tan truck that looks like that had a dog in the car earlier? I think there was. Maybe it was the last video. Am I gonna see him at the next intersection? I heard this banging sound right when I stepped on the sidewalk, and those birds look synced. The psychological fuckery mind games. It's driving right now at the moment of the sync point. I hear a dog barking. It sounds synced. I see sync. That's all I see is sync, and then occasionally, rarely, people that look like they might not be synced. But then they're mixed in with all the other sync people, so it's like, who's not synced? I don't know, but it's like all that I see though is sync. And then I'm like, who's not synced? I don't know. But these definitely are. So whoever drives those cars, if I see them again, they're always going to be synced. This is blue and this is red. Here comes the red. Oh, it's brown. Never mind. Thought it was red. This says C3 and a dog in the back seat. Are they all synced? Don't sync, don't sync, don't sync, don't sync, don't sync, don't sync. No. It's like right at the corner of that building. Is it synced? It has an 86 license plate. And I hear like hammering or something over here, and I think it was right when the tan truck drove by me that it started, and that's black and silver. And I think they're doing the hammering sound synced over and over. Sync. Sync it up. I heard a sound. Was it synced? I see a white. Sync it up with a 55. Sync it up, synced. He was like, when he drove by me. And he's turning right now. Sync. At the place where they sync. Right there, at the place where they sync. I think that just turned on synced. I don't know if it was already on or if it turned on right now. I think it was synced. Here comes the sync. Oh, this car is turning as this car drives by me. They love to sync at the edge of the parking lot where the whitey turned. I saw black and silver in front of me. They love to sync the black and silver. It's one of their favorite activities. To sync black and silver vehicles together. This is driving out right after I get up on the sidewalk. Then he's meeting this car synced. And then it's sync at the intersection. And train horn. And right when this drives out, I hear an engine sound behind me. I think it's a motorcycle. And then I hear the train horn. And then there's a car coming behind me. And it's gonna sink. And it's gonna be synced. And then it's synced again, and then it's synced. And then he's gonna drive around to the other side in front of me. And is it another whitey? I think it's red. Is this guy on the bike gonna sink? Don't sink. Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. I hear the train horn again. This white car just pulled up. I think it was synced. I think that whitey had an 86. This has a D2, and this is at the same time. It's a loud truck, and it's synced. And it is synced, and it is synced, and it is. I hear an engine sound behind me with that synced at the place where they sync. This white car is right after the blue car. Was it synced? This white car is synced. For sure, synced. This is sync. 93 sync. 93 sync. I hear this kid screaming over here. I think it's synced. I see a guy with a red shirt. He is walking up synced. I just see his leg poke out right on this white card, right? I don't know if you can see it, but I just see his leg come out. There he is. I see his leg come out from behind the tree when the white truck drove by me. And he was like walking up toward the sidewalk when I was getting to the end of the bridge, and it looked like he was about to walk out in front of me right at the end of the bridge. Like if he would have kept walking, he would have walked out in front of me right at the end of the bridge. But then just his leg pokes out when the white truck drives by me. And then he's walking back the other way, like after I turn. And he has a red shirt. Make a red sink fish jump up with a blue sink fish at the same time. Do a sink fish. Do you got those? Like if I go to the zoo, am I gonna see sink penguins swimming in front of me in the aquarium? Like two penguins swimming in front of me simultaneous as a baby cries or something? Cause so far, I don't think I've ever seen any sink raccoons. I think I saw a sink possum in a dream. I don't remember if it was a dream or real life. I see a lot of gang stalkers in dreams, so I can't remember if I actually saw that or if it was a dream. But I saw a sink possum one time in a dream, I think. This is right at the corner of that. They like to drive by at the corner of that right there. But Here goes the guy with the red shirt. Here's these. They're always synced. Like the Nebraska car or whatever. Got the red shirt. Right at the sidewalk. But yeah, so far I've seen synced. Well, like when I think back on it, I think I've seen synced raccoons before. Like before I knew about gang stalking. Telelift. I'm pretty sure I saw synced raccoons before when I lived in Colorado. And they were like going into the sewer, like the hole in the ground in the gutter of the street. They were like going into that when I was crossing the street one night, and when I look back at it, I think it might have been synced raccoons. But garbage truck at the end of the bridge. Amazing. I don't know if this guy is walking synced over here, maybe. Might be doing that. That car was right there. I think it's sync, maybe. But I hear the garbage truck right now. It's like, but but so far, I've seen synced dogs, cats, birds. I think I've seen synced geese flying over my head. Synced squirrels. So I'm just wondering, like, how far does it go? Like, how many animals are synced? How many, and is it like, are like all the birds? Are they able to sync up all the birds? Or is it just like some birds? Are they robot birds? I don't think they're robot birds, but like, how far does it go? Is there synced kangaroos? Like what? Is there synced fish? Is there synced octopus? Is there synced jellyfish? I see a whitey truck way over there. They're all like in the distance right now. Is this a stalker? Like if I go to the ocean, am I gonna see a jet ski sync with a dolphin? The dolphin's gonna jump up in the air behind a jet ski as it drives by? Or what? Is a synced dolphin gonna sync with a synced seagull? Or what? I see sync heads up the street. I hear engine sounds. I see syncs. They're just doing mostly distant things right now. There's this guy like behind me in the alley. I think he was synchronizing. I hear engine sounds in a car honking right now. I heard an engine sound behind me as I saw a white truck drive in front of me way down the street ahead of me. And sync. It's gonna turn right now. Sync. think I heard sounds over there, like someone yelling or something. Some type of sink. I saw a whitey truck way up the street, and then I saw other stalkers, I think. Oh, is this one? It's white. It's white. Is it gonna sink? It's turning right before this, where they always sink. If I walk under this pole, and I walk by the pole, they sink. And when other people walk by the pole, they sink with them walking by the pole or whatever, and driving by it. And I saw a car at the corner building. Don't sink. 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 I think there's a guy inside of the door over there, and I hear sounds from in there at the same time. And I think I saw a blue car back there, this blue car. Oh! But yeah, I saw a guy in the door with a red shirt, and I think he was doing a sink as the other people in the other door were doing a sink. Making a sink sound. And I saw a black and silver in front of me way up the street, and I heard an engine sound at the same time. And I see the red. This was probably gonna sink. Don't sink. It's getting across the street right there where they sink. Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. There's someone walking out. Is it sink? Here's a red car, and then a red car, and then... Oh! It has a military license plate. Is he gonna sink over there? I think this guy was coughing. I think he was coughing and he drove by me, or maybe it was the dog barking in the car. Right when I walked by that door, I saw people walking out in front of me, and I also heard someone's brakes squeaking. So I think it was synced. This mailman looks synced. These are always synced. It's gonna sink. It's gonna sink, I think. I'm walking by this and I hear these engine sounds as it drives by me. That guy has his arm out the window in the truck, and I'm walking by a dog car. And someone's sitting in this white SUV, and I hear a car honk as I walk by it as a car drives by. Is it sink? I hear engine sound sink behind me. I see a blue car, and then I see another blue car coming. That's probably coming to meet me at the other side of the street or something. I see another blue car. I see a mail van. I see a white truck. I see the blue car. Oh, oh, oh. I see sink heads. I see sink. I see sink head sinked. I see sink. I see sink head. I see sink. I see the sinks.